All right, today we're going to dive into this really powerful story from the book of Genesis. It's all about what it means to hit the reset button. I'm talking about a man and his family who find themselves at a total crossroads, basically forced to start over from scratch. This is the story of Jacob's journey to a place called Bethel.
I mean, think about it. It's a question we all face at some point, right? Maybe it's a personal screw-up, a family tragedy, a major breakdown. We all have those moments where the only path forward is to just begin again. Well, Jacob's story is kind of like an ancient playbook for how to do exactly that.
And for Jacob's family, the crisis was, well, it was bad, really bad. After a truly brutal incident in a town called Shechem, they were basically outcasts, living in fear. The family itself was just fractured and falling apart. They were desperate for a new beginning.
So, where do you go from there? Well, that new beginning kicks off with a very clear instruction, a call to go back to where it all began for him. God tells Jacob, get up, go to Bethel. Now you got to understand, Bethel wasn't just some random spot on a map. No way. This was the exact place where a much younger Jacob, on the run for his life, first met God in that famous dream about a ladder to heaven. It was a place of origin, a place where a foundational promise was made. The call was simple: go back to the beginning.
But, it's never as simple as just packing your bags and leaving, is it? Before the physical journey could happen, there had to be a spiritual one. Jacob knew that if they were going to truly start over, they had to prepare their hearts first.
So Jacob lays out 3 specific commands for his entire household. It's like a spiritual checklist. First, he says, get rid of the strange gods, all the little idols and trinkets they'd picked up. Second, purify yourselves, a symbolic act of getting clean. And third, change your clothes, literally putting on a new outfit for a new identity. This was a total reset, inside and out.
And that first step, getting rid of the idols, was a massive turning point. This wasn't just superstition. It was like a deep psychological spring cleaning. It probably even included those little household gods his wife Rachel had stolen years ago. Essentially, Jacob was telling them to clear out all the old baggage, all the symbols of past loyalties and hurts, to make room for something new.
And this shows a huge shift in Jacob himself. As the scholar Gordon Wenham points out, this is Jacob finally stepping up. He's not just reacting to crises anymore, just putting out fires. For the first time, he's really becoming the spiritual guide for his family, calling them to focus on one thing. So after all that preparation, they finally make it. They arrive at Bethel. And this is the climax of the whole journey. It's not just about building some stone altar, it's about a powerful moment of rediscovering who they are and what they're meant to do.
Jacob builds an altar, and he calls the place El Bethel. So what's in a name? Oh, everything. It means God of the house of God. Jacob is basically saying, this spot is special. God is here. He's commemorating a long personal history with a God who's been faithful through it all. And right here, God does this incredible 2-part reaffirmation. First, he confirms Jacob's new name, Israel, getting rid of the old one, Jacob, which meant deceiver. Then, God repeats the covenant promises, that sacred pact he first made with Jacob's grandfather, Abraham, promises of a huge family, of nations, and of land. This moment totally solidifies Jacob's role as the one carrying that legacy forward.
But here's the thing about life, isn't it? Spiritual high points are so often tangled up with human low points. This journey of renewal wasn't some pain-free vacation. Actually, it was profoundly marked by grief.
I mean, just look at this timeline. The losses are relentless, one after another. First, Deborah dies, his mother's nurse, a real link to his childhood. Then, the most crushing blow of all, his beloved wife Rachel dies giving birth. And finally, when he gets home, his father Isaac passes away. It's just a brutal reminder of how fragile life is, even when you're in the middle of a divine encounter.
And this one detail is it's so heartbreakingly powerful. With her last breath, Rachel names her newborn son Benoni, which means son of my sorrow. But Jacob, in his own grief, makes this incredible act of faith. He renames him Benjamin, son of my right hand, a name of honor, of hope. It's just sorrow and promise held together in perfect tension.
So, after all that, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the tragic, what do we take away from this journey? What's the lasting meaning of Jacob going back to Bethel, the house of God?
Well, this story is just packed with meaning. It shows us that God is always calling us back, that real, lasting change starts with that spiritual spring cleaning we talked about, with repentance. That our worship isn't something we do to earn points. It's just our natural response to His goodness. And maybe most importantly, that God's faithfulness is always, always bigger than our failures. Bethel becomes the symbol for that place of reconnection.
But if you're going to remember one thing, it should probably be this. Right in the middle of Jacob's deepest, darkest moments, losing his wife, his father, his past, God's promises didn't just hang on. They were spoken again, louder than ever. It's a reminder that our pain doesn't derail God's plan. In fact, sometimes it's in our pain that we see that plan shine the brightest.
And that brings it all back to us, doesn't it? For Jacob, Bethel was a real place on a map that became a spiritual landmark for him. So it makes you wonder, what are our modern Bethels? What are the places, the people, or maybe the experiences in your own life that serve as that house of God? That space for you to get renewed, to start over, and to reconnect with what really matters.